Now, you all know that I don't celebrate Father's Day, but today is a good day to talk about fatherhood. I mean, why not? Everybody's thinking about fatherhood anyway, so let's talk about it. So, in the war between light and darkness, in the decision between the narrow path and the wide gate, you are not just choosing your actions, you are choosing your father. This is the spiritual law of agency. And today, we're going to open both the Bible and the Book of Remembrance and discover the eternal truth. You choose your father by what you do. You understand? You choose your father by whose will you carry out. So, in the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15, it says, "Choose you this day whom ye will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." And in the book of Remembrance of Moses, chapter 1, verse 15, it says, "The covenant of Abraham made each person individually responsible to choose the way they would go and who they would follow." And the Messiah said in Matthew chapter 12, verse 50, he said, "Whoever shall do the will of my Father in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother." So he's telling you who his family is. And in the book of Remembrance of 2nd Achi, chapter 2, verse 14, it says, "The presence of elder will never be your inheritance unless you choose him with your own agency." Family, if you don't know, the word elder means God is here. It's letting you know that being in the midst of the Father will never be your inheritance unless you choose him to be your Father. And so it says in the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44, it says, "Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do." You see that? They're carrying out the lust of their father. But it says in the book of Remembrance of Melchizedek, chapter 1, verse 14, it says, "The children of evil and of selfishness come from choosing another father whose name is Belial." And Romans chapter 6, verse 16 says, "Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are, to whom ye obey?" You understand? Whose will are you carrying out? In the book of Remembrance of Moses, chapter 2, verse 19, it says, "And behold, the law of Jeshurun was given to make clear the difference between choosing to walk with the great I am loving kindness or following after the enticements of Shekath." Family, Jeshurun is the foundation of the law, and Shekath is the pit of hell. So you need the law so you can know how to walk, so you can know how to do the will of the Father. And in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19, it says, "I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life." And it says in the book of Remembrance of Enoch, chapter 12, verse 3, it says, "And every man shall decide for himself if he will live with the Holy One or dwell with the watchers of desolation." You see that? If you follow those fallen gods, then you will be with them in the place that was created for them. Now check this out, family. It says in the Book of Remembrance of our ancient grandmothers, chapter 5, verse 10, it says, each daughter of Eve chooses with her hands what her heart truly belongs to, and the fruit of her labor shall declare her allegiance. And look what it says in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 31. It says, give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. And look what it says here about our first father Adam, but it uses his original name, Yatsakad. This is in the Book of Remembrance of Moses, chapter 1, verses 17 and 18. It says, and Yatsakad mourned greatly because of the fall, and he wept over all his posterity, and he said, surely all are lost. But the great I am loving kindness came to comfort him and said, only those who rebel shall be lost. The righteous shall still be your children. So the Father is letting him know that there will always be a righteous remnant. And you can see that in Romans chapter 11, verses 4 and 5. It says, I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to Baal. Even so, then at this present time, there is a remnant according to the election of grace. So I ask you, who is your Father? Is it the great I am loving kindness, the creator of all things, who calls you to repentance, purity, and covenant? Or is it the adversary who calls you to comfort, compromise, and confusion? You choose by your walk. You choose by your will. You choose by your love. As for me and my house, we will serve, Anoki said, the great I am loving kindness. Let the righteous declare their Father with joy and walk upon the waymarks of Jeshurun in the narrow way.